Welcome to the Konglish Talk podcast, a chill talk show brought to you by some States girl and Korean guy living in Korea. My name is Leah.
And I'm Diaz. And today's topic is college majors.
Yes.
A few days ago, Korea college entrance application is ended and every applicant already threw their resumes to the college. So I hope you guys have a good luck. Well, I just popped up the what kind of majors do they have these days, and there must be some majors, strange majors. Not that strange for some person, but like very new and like fresh
Unique.
majors.
Yeah.
We might have, so we're gonna talk about that. Don't forget to follow us and set the alarm. There must be some majors that are popular in the States and Korea. In Korea, we separate between humanities majors and science major starting from high school. So for humanities major, they study about society, histories, blah blah blah, and for science, we learn like science, math. Thanks to that, those two majors have different tastes of majors. First, in Korea, for science majors, the medical school is the best majors. When you become a doctor, you don't have to worry about your future anyway. Well, you have to study a fog even if you go to the college when you choose that. But so thanks to that, the medical school is the best major in Korea. And computer engineering is also popular, thanks to AI and the fourth industrial revolution. And there are three famous majors in engineering, which is called 전화기, 전기, 화학, 기계, electronic major, chemistry major, and mechanical engineering major.
Yes.
Those three majors tend to have more jobs than other majors, so Koreans want to go that major more than other things, and engineering major has higher entrance result than pure science major, like physics, chemistry, like that, because going to engineering major has more chance to get a job in Korea. And Korea doesn't put more resources to the pure science, so that's why. And talking about the humanist, the most famous major will be management. If you go to the management major and you can go to any company, do management job, head resource, HR will be most famous department, blah blah blah. But for philosophy major, there's a sad story in Korea. You can have a job. Sometimes they say if you want to get a job as a philosophy major, you'd better make a time machine and go back to the ancient Greece.
By the way, we are not making fun of you if you are a philosophy major at all. Yeah, that kind of major isn't usually looked at well in America either. Like it's not that it's bad, but a lot of people think like the only job you can really get with philosophy is if you're like a professor teaching it, pretty much.
What about in the States?
So in the States, actually the most popular major is business. And second is health, but the first one being business. So in business there's like marketing is really big. Finance is a really big one. If you're good with numbers, a lot of people actually try to go into finance and be like business analyst or something like that, because being good with numbers and being able to do all that kinds of stuff, if you're really good at it, you can get a good position in a company because you're able to help kind of like budget stuff or direct what they should be putting their financial resources into. So that's a really big one. And then accounting is also a really, really big one that kind of goes into finance. If you're good at accounting, you're solid. And international business is also a really, really big one because, as you know, States being one of the big global powers, it helps to have people who are that do well in international business, and usually those people also at least know one other language, so probably Spanish or French or something like that. Actually, a lot of in general, a lot of Americans don't study other languages as hard as like they do in Europe, for example, which is yeah, which isn't good. It's starting to change a little bit, but it's so undersaturated in America that if you're able to speak like another language at like the general intermediate level, especially the major ones like Spanish, French, I mean Chinese or Japanese even, you can get a really good job in like pretty much any company. And then the next for health professions, nursing, public health, occupational therapy is a popular one. Speech pathology too. I actually have known some people who went into like speech therapy, helping younger children with like speech impediments. So that's actually a popular one. And then social sciences and history, of course, being political science, anthropology, economics, sociology, history.
Well, history is the least famous major in Korea, though. Like,
yeah, it's definitely not a huge one in America, too. Most people who major in history most of them want to be like secondary education teachers or professors, most of them. I'm sure there might be other like niche jobs that you could probably get with a history major, but I'd imagine that they either double major or they get a minor, which is another thing in America is that we have majors, minors, you can double major sometimes. You might hate your life, but there's like certain programs where you can have two majors actually. But I know in Korea...
We also have that too.
You have that too?
Yeah, we have like double majors mostly.
Oh. And then next after that is engineering. So there's actually different other, like we have mechanical and electric engineering too, but I know that another really popular one is civil engineering and industrial engineering. Those are really popular too.
We don't have that kind of major in lots of school. Only few colleges have that major, and for industrial majors, we just consider mechanical, electronical, chemical engineering as one of the industrial majors, so we don't have kind of like a combined major that much, but some colleges might have.
Yeah, and then another really popular major is psychology. It's becoming even more needed in America right now, but the thing is about, especially with like people who are doctors, nurses, and psychologists or psychiatrists in America, is that the demand is high for them, but the amount of people going in is actually pretty low because our healthcare system is so fucked up.
Well, maybe that's the one of the major that your wife might like.
Do you have any like unique majors in Korea, or are they all pretty basic? Because I've never heard of like, for example, like my major is called professional writing, but no one has ever heard of that in Korea. Like even if I translate it into Korean, even if I say technical writing, because technical writing also falls into professional writing. So to give a quick summary of my major, I learned different disciplines of writing. So I learned the basics of technical writing, which are people who write procedural manuals for things. If you want to be in technical writing, they work with engineers and like other like technical staff to create manuals that you see when you buy certain things that tell you how to build something or tell you how something works. There's healthcare writers, people who work for insurance companies or hospitals putting out information that has to do with health or how to sign up through this portal or blah, blah, blah. And then there's copywriters who, do the marketing stuff. So it's all like a thing. I learned all of those things. But in Korea, like, no one has ever heard of that kind of major.
Oh, yeah. Even I didn't heard about that, so let me talk about that really quick. In Korea, as I said, a lot of people are eager to get higher and higher college degree, and if you get more, you want to get higher major degree, like getting a medical degree or getting an engineering degree for science major students like that. That's one of the culture in Korea, so that some majors you only told me about, like sports management major, is not that popular in Korea. Some school might have, and in Korea there's a golden rule that if there's some famous major and famous college, then you will have a higher entrance exam result. As I said before, we have a Korean SAT test called Sunungs, and those famous majors have higher Sunung score than other majors. And even if some kind of new majors are created, unless your job is really set for certain level and you will be really reach above, for some college majors, we have a car major, 자동차학과, which is learning all about engineering stuff about car. That major is famous, even if they are never heard for you too. And on Seongkyungkwan University, where Samsung is funding, they made a major, I forgot the name, by the way. They made a major which can directly go to Samsung after graduating. So that major is also famous. Those kind of majors could have high entrance result, but other than that, new majors are not that easy to survive in Korea, so they have lower entrance result than other traditional majors like engineering major, electrical engineering major, chemistry.
Yeah.
But still, we have a really new majors, even if you didn't hear about that. So let me just introduce some kind of those. Well, in Korea, since we are a Confucian-based country, we have 유학 동양학과. Major name in English is College of Confucian Studies and Eastern Philosophy.
Oh. We actually have an East Asian studies major. That was my minor, but that's but that is a major in America too.
Eastern Asian Studies major and Western Studies major is normal, but Confucian Studies is not that normal. Only one college called Seongkyungkwan that has that. And in Dongguk University, that school, that college is based on Buddhism.
Oh.
And they have Buddhism art major.
Huh.
This is kind of like an internet university though. We have YouTuber major.
Oh my god, that's so funny because one time I was riding a bike and I literally saw, so the joke is that Korea has a hagwon for everything. And there was literally a YouTube Academy hagwon. I shit you not. I was like, are you serious? They actually have a full-on hagwon dedicated to learning how to do YouTube. In America, we just have YouTubers that scam their fans.
Anyway, they teach how to become a YouTuber as a major for 2 years.
Wow.
This is a little bit famous in Korea, though. We are known as the best gamer country. We have an esports majors really a lot too.
Wow.
Esports major, esports management major, esports business major, blah blah blah. For Dongguk University, they have one more really fun major. Not the fun for somebody. Life and Death Culture major.
Life and Death Culture? Feels like philosophy.
Regarding to the Buddhism, so...
Ah. I just want to know, what they do. What is the job for that?
They're, a really famous, really fresh, shocking majors.
I looked up a couple in America, and of course, there's more than what I put here, but one of them that was interesting was, there's one major, and I can't remember which school now, but it was in bakery science. So it's usually if you want to be a baker, or if you want to be in, okay, not baker, but what are they?
2,000 years later.
Culinary school. Thank God. Culinary school. You go to a technical school. We call it technical school, but not because of the technology, but because it's very specific, and you don't go for as long as getting a 4-year degree. So you go to culinary school where you learn everything, and then you decide to specialize what you want to do. And so this one college has bakery science, where students are trained in all aspect related to the baking industry, including research and production.
Well, thinking of that, chef studies about science too, make to
Yeah.
do like a really making like new foods, and even they have like a molecule cooking.
Yeah, my mom back in the day they call it food science though, where like
Yeah.
if you want to, or like food chemist, if you want to be a food chemist. But this is different. This is baking specifically. But yeah. Leisure studies. Learn how to optimize free time, teaching, parks, health, and fitness industries. We have surf studies to be a surf coach or instructor, run a surf school, work in environmental sustainability.
Huh?
I don't know. And floral management. Purchasing, distributing, marketing, and designing a variety of floral products. That sounds like, I don't know. I personally probably wouldn't like that. I'd be like, all the smells. We hope you enjoyed this long episode that we had today.
And I think this is a little bit late, but for disclaimers, this is just our opinion, and we are not trying to blame your major. Nobody will blame what you do, anyway, for future, for sure, unless you're doing criminal thing.
Yeah, we're all struggling out here.
This is all for this week, and we are gonna see you on next week.
Bye!